love you in Australia, and thank you for your time today. The guys want to ask, will the Abbey Lee Dance School be coming back? Will the show return?
Yes, absolutely. We're back with season 8, The Resurrection.
Talk us through it.
Oh, well, we have new kids. They've auditioned from all over the world. Well, all over the country, I should say. And new moms, unfortunately. When is it going to be dance kids? And we leave the mothers at home. That's the way it should be. It's a little different dynamic because the kids and the moms are coming in having watched me on television. They know the stars I've produced. They've done their homework. They've done their research. So they kind of come in, and when I'm talking, they kind of just look at me like, and they don't want to fight back because they know my success rate. They see what the kids in the original cast are doing now, and they want that same success for their child. But they're also, regular old dance moms. They want to win, and they want their kids to be the best that they can be. So a lot of the same fights and same, problems go on because it's moms and daughters, and we have a boy now. So a lot of it is just what happens in my studio on a daily basis. There's chaos. There's people unhappy. There's people upset. But these mothers are a little over the top.
When aren't they?
Right.
Who are the dance moms that you've stayed close in contact with?
None.
Who would you speak to last?
I would say I'm still in touch with Jojo Siwa, Jojo's mom. I'm in touch with Ashley, Bryn's mom. And that's it.
Who are the dance students that you keep in touch with?
Jojo, Bryn. You mean from the original show or all my students? I have kids on Broadway. There was just somebody in here interviewing me who actually had a message from one of my former students who is a little bit older now, but she's finally getting her Broadway credit. She's opening in a new show. Yes. So, I teared up because she had a voice message from her to me saying, thank you for everything. And she was with me for 14 years. 3 years old to 17, you graduate and you move to New York. Her first job was in the first national tour of Contact. She was the girl in the yellow dress at 18 years old, and has had a great career ever since, just never landed back in New York on the Great White Way. I have kids choreographing Broadway shows now. I have kids working all over the place. And it's, your busy day-to-day life, it's rough. But now with your phone and social media and Instagram and everything, it's easy to keep in touch. I have two students, actually. One you've heard of. The other one, his name is John Michael Fumar, and he's in Steven Spielberg's new West Side Story.
How does that make you feel, knowing that you gave these kids this opportunity of a lifetime?
Amazing. Yeah. I hope they understand, and I hope they realize. He does.
Yeah.
I hope the other one does too someday. But it's gratifying.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest thing when I was knocking on death's door. Will it matter that I was? Did I do something here on my time on earth worthwhile? And I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
You really did. I totally agree with that. Have you ever had a favorite? Who's your favorite?
One of my favorites, his name is Mark Myers, and he's now a Broadway choreographer. He's been in about 7 Broadway shows. He's no big deal. Yeah. The other is a girl named Katie Hackett. She just had the most gorgeous flat turnout, and the most gorgeous feet and these lines. And it was all about her body and the image and her leg and her penché en releve. It was always about that. And then her first job right out of high school was the Radio City Christmas Spectacular. And she wasn't a rockette, but she was one of the chorus dancers. And so I'm sitting in the audience and I'm just chills and nerves and everything. And she stepped out on that stage and I thought, my God, it's her face. It's her face that won all those years. Not her foot, not her releve up here, but she was just so magnetic and so beautiful and so natural on stage, and I was so proud of her. And she went on to work for them for 12 years, I think. I've had a lot of kids have great careers.
Jojo is my
yes.
Of course. Were you surprised? She's a phenomenon. Does that surprise you?
No. Jojo was always a hard worker. She was a good kid. I'm not going to talk about her the way I just did about my favorite, Katie Hackett. It wasn't about the feet. It wasn't about the legs. Jojo hit the market right. As Bob Fosse said, it's all in the timing. She hit it at the right time, the right place. She was on Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition, which that's the show that should come back. She was on Dance Moms. She cornered the market. It's 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds. Our show, our viewers, let's say, they grew up with the show. So JoJo doesn't have the viewers that are now 16 years old like her. She has this market, this niche with these young kids, and I think it's great. It's wholesome. It's family friendly. She teaches children how to be themselves, how to be fabulous every day in their own life. And I think that's great. You know, of course they all need to knock down a few pegs like JoJo did, but she was like a dandelion. You know, you could weed whack her and do this and do that, and she just kept coming back stronger than ever. I think a lot of what she learned doing the 2 television shows has helped her now. But actually her choreographer and the person that is behind the production of her show, her big tour, is Richie Jackson. Richie's an old friend of mine. He was on Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition as a judge sitting next to me and loved JoJo from day one. So come full circle, here she is almost a decade later working with somebody that she met through me, and he knows what I expect on that stage. He is also Lady Gaga's choreographer and does so much on her tour that I think it was really the right fit. I'm so proud of her. It's great. And she's a hard worker. You know, JoJo's mom and dad, they don't go into the meetings. They don't run those meetings with the executives. JoJo does.
Really?
Yes.
My 4-year-old niece in Australia, the last photo I had, she was this huge bow on her head, and I thought to myself, she's just an international phenomenon. Do you wish she'd invested more in merchandise? Because she made a lot of money from that.
Well, funny you should ask. The Claire's deal actually came to me at Lifetime doing Dance Moms, that they wanted to do a whole Dance Kids line. And I took it to the network and they said no, they weren't interested. There was a video gaming company that owns Atari that came to me. And they had this whole amazing system. They showed it to me on the computer. Like, it was brilliant about building the pyramid, and you had to earn points to make a costume and to get a solo. And it was really geared towards girls because most video games are for boys, or boys purchase them. And this was international, and you could play it around the world with other girls and compete against them. And it was so cool. And of course, me being this law-abiding citizen and playing by the book all the time, I took it to Lifetime and had a meeting there with them in New York, and no, weren't interested. And the third thing is Dance Moms the Musical, a Broadway show. I've been working on it for so long, but Lifetime owns the rights, and they don't want anything to do with it. So believe me, I've tried.
Yeah.
So there really isn't merchandising, but there's an Abby Lee Dance Company t-shirt just screaming your name.
Yeah, right.
So you can go online to my website. You can buy it. There's, ALDC on onesies. There's ALDC hoodies. There's ALDC everything. So I just think originally when the show started, it was supposed to be a housewives show. That was the format. And I want to take some credit for morphing it into a children's show, because Lifetime's really not a children's network. Kids are not the demographic. But now, times they are changing, and they have lots of other wonderful children's shows. So I think that it is a good thing. Who knows what the future holds.
Mm-hmm. Final question on JoJo, actually.
Yes.
Today, worth $12 million. I think she turned 16 yesterday or the day before. Did she ever offer to invest or with finances or anything like that?
Oh, no, but maybe I should ask her. No. JoJo did a collaboration with Dancers for Cancer and presented me with a $10,000 check from Dancers with Cancer. And not from her. Like, it was from the organization, which I was so grateful for. I had been not working for 8 months and then end up in a hospital, again not working, and it was rough. It really was. And as soon as I finish this season up with Lifetime, I'm going to put that money back in there with Dancers for Cancer for someone else that needs it.
Love it. That's gorgeous. I
Yes.
really love that. Are you happy with the direction the girls have gone since leaving the different shows?
Some yes, some not so much. But I'd rather talk about the kids
Yeah.
that are on the show. We have a young man, Brady, pretty incredible. And I'm trying my best to get him to be a multifaceted performer.
Okay.
You know, to work with celebrities, to work on tour, you know, Dancing with J-Lo or this one or that one or whatever, because there's so much professional work now for male dancers. But I kind of pride myself on training men on stage. Yeah. You know, I don't care what you are off stage, but on stage, we want a guy that's going to lift girls, that's going to dance like a guy. And Brady is doing a great job.
So is Brady pictured there?
I think he's in the top right, yeah.
Love it. And what are the other kids like?
The other kids are great.
Yeah.
You know, they want to be a member of the Abbey Lee Dance Company. They want to wear all the merchandise. They're in the store in my studio shopping all the time. They love it. They study the old Dance Moms episodes over and over and over. When we're on the bus traveling to the competition, I can hear my voice behind me. I'm like, what are they doing? And they all like sit with their computers and they watch the episodes. They watch the steps, the turns, the jumps, the leaps. You know, they see what the mothers do that gets them into trouble. So they should warn their mothers, right?
Yes, they should. I love that. So do you have a team to help you get these guys all together for this season?
No. It's Gianna and I. That's it.
Love it.
The
Love
two of
it.
us. We do the costumes, the choreography, everything in Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
I don't have any resources. I can't run downtown like in LA and I can get fabric and stones and appliques. It's not available.
You have really inspired me because you've been through so much. Where do you get this strength and courage from? Like, it's out of this world and it's incredible.
Well, the show must go on.
Yes. I love that. Thank you so much for chatting with us. What an
Thank
absolute
you.
pleasure.